welcome to the spring edition. Sorry, I'm very slow there. Welcome to the spring edition of Inside Mini Weekly. I'm Ryan Boni.
All 47 degrees of spring.
If we just started 10 seconds... Oh, there it is! Otters are back. There's an otter.
I believe the Otters are playing Dungeons and Dragons there. Isn't there multi-sided dice there?
Reference there. You know
What's going on?
Is it a dodecahedron?
Interesting.
Dodecahedron, yeah.
12-sided?
Dodecahedron.
What's 20-sided? That was the big die, right?
Well, you can get a 100-sided die if you want.
If you're crazy.
I don't know if it's needed for Dungeons and Dragons.
It
or
could
anything.
be.
I mean...
I
do not know the name of a 20-sided three-dimensional figure.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up as we go. Kevin Bastos is here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You made it.
Oh, wait. The Otter's getting out. He's going. He's leaving.
I met my obligation. I'm here.
I made it.
Way to go.
37 feet.
It's challenging
coming
for
all the way down
some
the hall.
people, but not for me.
Justin Pinto, also congratulations.
Made it
Here.
downstairs.
Made it here.
Made it downstairs.
We're all here.
Made it downstairs.
I'm ready.
We almost finished watching our SNL sketch before you arrived.
I know. Well,
That's okay. I watched
the
it
Otters
before.
okay? They're gone.
Dang it. All right, let's go to our
Rundown.
So,
no rundown.
There it is. We already
Not
went
only did
through
we
it.
not
What?
get it, there isn't even one.
what?
Which is worse?
Which is worse? Not being sent the rundown or having no rundown to send.
Here's the rundown. All you need is Box Office Mojo.
So, yeah.
There we go.
So, let's talk about what
Three
happened.
people talk about a website you could read yourself. On local access.
Wow.
Ouch, that was serious.
So, this is enormously large.
I feel like the bulk of our conversation lately has gone back to Box Office Mojo.
Box
Gotta
Office
be.
Mojo.
Do you let me throw out a topic then?
Yeah.
Black Panther just passes the Titanic for all time. Number 3, number 4.
Number three.
Number 3.
All time.
The fact that Titanic is still number 3 from 21 years ago, and their crazy formula for inflating prices of movie tickets.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
3D has really inflated what the average ticket cost is nowadays.
Sure.
So, I feel like, did we really see what ticket is sold and investigated to the?
No.
I mean, the fact that they get these dollar figures to this,
What's ahead?
it's unbelievable.
What's ahead of it?
Force Awakens and Avatar.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to get either one of them.
Probably not.
Well, 936 million is the one.
Never. Well, I won't say never.
All we need to do is make $8 million for the next
Yeah.
47 weeks.
Number one superhero movie of all time.
Yes.
So does that mean that
Shocking.
Star Wars people aren't heroes, superheroes, nor are the Avatar?
Oh.
It's not really a superhero genre.
No. No, when I think about my favorite superhero movie, I certainly don't go to Star Wars.
Space opera, yes.
Western, even.
Maybe. I'm starting to think, though, that Infinity War. There's no S on it, is there?
I don't know.
I think it's Infinity War.
Don't know.
I would not be surprised if it does not catch Black Panther and beat it. Because, I mean, 600 and something. I mean, the third biggest movie of all time. Can you really have a company put out 2 movies that are like the third and fourth biggest movie of all time within the span of like 3 months of
If
each other?
they're good.
I just really don't think. I don't think Avengers is going to get the same traction Black Panther did.
If they're good. The problem with Avengers is it has a lot more competition. I mean, remember when we looked through all the weeks, we thought, if this doesn't make it, it's going to keep plowing right through until ... And I think at that point...
Pacific Rim was what we were all waiting for. And it had 1 week in the sun.
But it didn't win, did it?
Pacific Rim was number 1, and Black Panther went to 2 that week.
Okay. But then...
Then Black Panther stayed at 2, and Pacific Rim went to like 4.
Okay.
And now, this past weekend,
This
Out
wasn't
of control.
A lot of money at
Quiet
the box office this weekend.
Yeah, for a tiny little movie, too. I mean, what was the budget behind that? We haven't even said the name of it yet, have we?
Quiet Place, $17 million budget, gross $50 million first week. And there was a story I was reading on MovieWeb
Run.
that, thank goodness, there's some unused scenes.
Because we'll save money.
So they're going to recycle some of the unused scenes from A Quiet Place 1 to make A Quiet Place 2.
Why not?
Genius.
Why not? Saving even more money for the future investors.
This is like even more, let's just save some stuff just
Sure.
in case. This is even more cutting edge than Back to the Future 2 and 3 filming together at the same time.
What the most interesting or scary thing to me is these two people are married.
Who?
The leads in the show, in the movie, right?
I don't know.
Emily.
I know nothing about the movie except that it's like you can't make noise.
Well,
supposed to be quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
A Quiet Place. In
yes.
fact.
The two leads in it are married, and he was on The Office, and I think her name's Emily Blunt. Yeah,
right.
And Krasinski are married to one another. And I said to my wife, "Could we ever be in the same movie?" And she said, "We can't even be in the kitchen together." So
Yeah.
I think that means no.
As somebody who does work with his wife.
But you don't lunch with her. You don't
Well, we don't
hang
have. We
out
just
with her.
well, we just if your schedule doesn't jive here at this work, you just don't see each other.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you guys don't even come in together, do you?
No, I stay late for track
See?
usually. So
You don't even drive together. Like, wow.
But do you think there'd be a strange dynamic since Krasinski is also the director of the movie? So
what is with these people like?
Strange dynamic.
John, if you told me John Krasinski from The Office was gonna direct a $50 million horror movie, I would have said, really?
$20 million horror movie.
Well, but I mean, it made $50 million. And the fact that Get Out was directed by
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, like if you told me somebody from Key and Peele was going to direct like the runaway smash hit of the 1 year Get Out, like
Academy Award nominated.
I think he won.
He won for director?
I think he won for Best Original Screenplay. Was it Best Original Screenplay? Was that the one?
Didn't win Best Picture.
No, it did not. I think was he the one who won Best Original Screen?
By the way, I finally saw the Best Picture winner. We can throw that out there too.
Lady in the Water.
Yes. Are we?
Is that what it's called?
No, Lady in the Water. Was,
Yeah, that was a film from
Fish in the
M. Night
Water.
Shyamalan.
Yeah.
I was going to say, wasn't that?
That movie was terrible.
Wait
That
a
was
second.
one of the worst movies I've
We are
ever
really
seen.
combining some movies here together.
Well, let's just throw things around. Jump into another place.
What was the name of it?
Color of
Color
Water.
of Water. It had water in it. That's close
Color
enough.
of
Okay.
Water.
Yes.
Awful. I mean, campy.
I have not bought it yet, or
But not
watched
like
it.
enjoyable awful. Like
No, like could make a wonderful drinking game kind of a film. Like drink every time there's a salacious scene in it. Drink every time there's a shot of some monster
we in no
doing
way
something
condone this
ridiculous
behavior
thing.
that,
I mean, I was watching it thinking, what in the world am I? You could count the number of times you swore watching the film. What in the world is that supposed to be? And I've seen.
Well, he is more of a horror movie. Like he likes movies. He said he likes movies about monsters. He likes movies about.
Well, yeah, his movies have all been kind of the ones I've seen, like Pan's Labyrinth and stuff like that.
It was
They're just
basically about monsters.
Odd.
This was not odd. This was freakish strange. There's a
Okay.
dream sequence where she dances a la some 1930s kind of a musical.
You're not really
on the
making me want to watch
stage.
this movie, Mr.
Oh, no.
Bastos.
No, you should watch it, but I would discourage your purchasing.
Well, I have to kind of.
I
He's gonna-
understand.
I mean,
How do you suggest he watches it without purchasing
you
it?
got to kind of
There are places, locations, times where you can rent
Redbox,
from. Correct.
Netflix. I'm sure at some point.
Correct. You can activate your DVD
I was
plan
gonna
again
say
for a
the,
month for free. Have that
well,
delivered to your house.
Even you can rent on your cable box now.
Awful. Just awful.
By the way, he's doing Pinocchio. Is his next movie he's going to do.
Oh boy. I liked Hellboy. I liked it. I would say I liked it a
What
lot.
about Hellboy 2, Golden Army?
Okay.
And of course, Pacific Rim he
Right.
directed.
But
2013.
this was
I forgot he was Blade 2 as well.
I did not remember
this movie was bad. And thinking of the other Best Picture winners I've seen, I thought people just voted for this like the Emperor's New Clothes. Yeah, it's great. It's great. No, it's great. It's great. I didn't get it. I don't get
Is it at least visually fascinating? Okay.
It's pretty. One actor was very good in it. Actress.
The actor.
You mean the one who...
No. She has 0 lines. She is a mute
Right.
who signs and falls in love with this creature inside of a
What's the time frame of the movie? It's set in what?
60s.
In the 60s?
Like
I mean, I know. I from watching the trailer, I knew it wasn't set
like
in
late
current
50s, early 60s,
contemporary
that
times.
kind of thing. So before any of your hippie age kind of stuff. Yeah.
Boy, I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, hard view. Just
Can't wait.
hard.
Maybe I'll just put it on the shelf and just put it next to all the other ones and just be like, okay, I'm done with that. Yeah,
I would
moving
say
on.
you should watch it, but
By the way, it's now available for $4.99 on Prime, Amazon Prime.
The movie itself or like renting it?
Well, it'd be renting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch that.
yeah, just,
I mean, I did watch that the Room, which is supposed to be the worst movie of all time.
was it?
I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, but if you go into something thinking it's going to be the worst movie of all, if you go in with the expectations of this is going to be terrible, and I'm watching it because it is terrible.
Now, did you watch Disaster Artist first? Or did you
No,
watch it?
I'm glad I did it because
Okay.
now I have a whole new
Ruined it.
appreciation of the Disaster Artist when I do watch it.
Got it.
So if I go in thinking, okay, this is going to be a terrible movie, as opposed to, oh, this is Best Picture.
I went in hoping it would be good.
Yeah, I mean
Or
that's
comparable
always
to the other films.
That's always where you kind of get in trouble when you go in with like expectations and then they're quickly not met and it just.
Oh, and I did not expect for it to be the best movie I'd ever seen. In fact, like as of right now,
How could you not? It's the Best Picture.
Right, right.
Entire
At
year.
least the best one of the year, or comparable, or in that vein. But I'm thinking of not good movies I saw last year that I had much better time. Like,
Baywatch.
yeah, I would.
More enjoyable.
Yes.
Okay.
Because Baywatch, I think, expected to be bad.
Well, see, that's your expectations. You go
Right.
in thinking it's going to be bad. And
Right,
voila.
it expected to
Next
be
thing
bad.
you know, you think it's good.
And it wasn't awful. This I expected to be good, and it was
Like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I did not expect it to be great, but I
Right.
enjoy it a lot.
right, right. What's the 2004 Best Picture winner? The one about race that everyone lumps on and says, "Oh, I can't believe this one Best Picture. That's terrible."
It's not Crash.
Crash. It might be, yeah. And everyone dumps on Crash like it's terrible. It's terrible. But in the last 5 years,
Crash, I think, was the different
Lord of
year.
the Rings, Return of the King is 2004. Was it maybe the year before?
maybe after 5 or 6.
I was going to say Crash. I don't think was 04. I wanted to say 03, but that seems like too old for Crash.
Anyway, Crash. Everyone dumps on, says it's
I
awful.
don't even think anybody talks about it anymore. Like that's the thing about like Best
No.
Picture anymore. It's like it wins
was
Best Picture,
fine.
and it's like, man, and then it's gone.
It was fine. I mean, it certainly wasn't my favorite film of all time.
But it's like I mean,
But-
like you think of Best Pictures, and people talk about like all the
Iconic
classics.
films.
Yeah,
But even the last 5 years, like I'm
This
trying to
hasn't been a-
remember,
there's
and they're
nothing been really iconic.
awful. Artist was boring. I mean, a very
well, even
love
Return of the
story.
King was like the worst.
Oh, the worst of the three by far.
And then
By
well,
far.
we've been waiting 3 years to give it to this one.
Right. Even the second one, I thought this one's got to win. Because the first one was slow at parts, and I could see why they didn't pick that one to win. The second one, I think, lost to A Beautiful Mind. I want to say.
Well, by the way, Crash was was the 2006
Okay, you were right.
Academy Award.
No, I said 03. I went older. He went newer.
Okay. And I liked Crash. I didn't think it was my favorite movie. I won't go back and watch it.
No.
But since then,
But
so many have been.
But it was up against Brokeback Mountain, Capote,
Right.
Good Night and Good Luck, and Munich.
And there were certainly better choices for it. And I don't think it was dumped on necessarily, but I thought this year the Best Picture other nominees were very good and didn't win. And this was just weird and kind of bad.
What was there was a movie closing in on it towards the end. Like there's always like the
predictions?
well, yeah, and then like they start changing, and then you can watch Vegas or anything that gambles on
Odds.
stuff. Like they're not in the business of like losing money. So if something's going to win, they make it like really bad odds for you. You better bet 100 to win 10. You better bet $10 to win $1. Because they're not going to let you just bet 1 to win 10 if it's supposed to win and such. And there was something closing in on it this year. I forget what it was.
That I don't remember.
It wasn't Get Out.
The other nominees were Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I think it was probably 3 billboards. That's my guess.
I forget what it was.
I haven't seen that, but I heard it was very good. Dunkirk, I really
Dunkirk's
liked.
amazing.
Darkest Hour, I really liked. Get Out, I didn't like as much as those two, but I thought was clearly better than this hot garbage pile. I mean, it was painful for me to watch. I'm pulling up here as well. Let me jump into mine.
Pinto, where's your computer? Are you going to... Nothing makes better television than all
Here
this
we
looking
are.
up stuff. So
Let's go live to Justin. He is not on a computer right now. And we've even lost the screen out here, so I don't even
hold on.
Yeah, the power went out. I didn't want to be like reaching across. Yeah, I mean, what was the last movie that won like that? Like, is Lord of the Rings: Return of the King like the most iconic movie that won Best
We
Picture
had
lately?
Moonlight last year, Spotlight the year before, Birdman, 12 Years a Slave.
Birdman I thought was good, and it didn't win.
Birdman won Best Picture.
No, it didn't.
No?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
yes,
won.
it did.
It did.
Yes.
It was a surprise winner, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I like that a lot, and Keaton did not win.
Keaton did
and
not
I was
win.
upset that
Keaton
that
did not
happened.
win.
12 Years a Slave, Argo, The Artist, King's Speech.
See, like none of these are like
Shape
like iconic movies. Like Lord of the Rings is at least like, I guess, semi-iconic. I mean, it's not Godfather.
No.
You know, it's not. I was gonna say it's not even Forrest Gump, but I don't know if I want to say it.
Gladiator. Let's talk about Gladiator.
Gladiator
Bastos.
does get worse with age and every viewing.
Oh, yeah, and I remember when that one, I was like, what are you? Octavia Spencer, she was excellent. Okay.
Didn't Russell Crowe win Best Actor for Gladiator?
I want to say he did.
I want to say he did.
And that was one of the popcorn movies. They sort of like, okay, you're in.
Well, yeah, and then didn't he win for A Beautiful Mind also?
Beautiful Mind was next year.
He won both, didn't he? Or maybe he did not win for A Beautiful Mind.
He might not have.
As we're all looking.
As we go back in time.
This is awesome. This challenge show where everyone looks on their computers.
So where is?
Yeah, Birdman was the last.
Yes, he won Gladiator.
Yes, yeah. Birdman was good. I enjoyed Birdman.
I loved it.
It was a really. I mean, and it was
I thought
not,
it was great and different.
It was very different.
Again, concept film, throwing that idea in there, but very sort of open for interpretation. Like, I thought that last scene, wondrous, very beautiful, but I thought this was just a turd. And again, open for interpretation at the end, that sort of hopefulness, not hopefulness, but watch it and what?
All right.
And
I usually
loved-
don't watch
did you
serious movies anymore. That's
you
the
watched
problem.
Dunkirk and
I did not watch either. He watched Dunkirk and Darkest Hour
Darkest
back to
Hour.
back.
yeah, I thought they were both excellent. I thought Oldman was
He won Best Actor,
Yeah.
right?
nearly perfect. Nearly perfect.
What was weird was I went in with very low expectations of Dunkirk. Just
Really?
Because, well, only I mean I knew it was Christopher Nolan. I knew there wasn't much dialogue and stuff like that. I didn't. I think I've mentioned on the show before. War movies don't. I don't often get into them. I don't seek them out. Although there's obviously been some tremendous ones where I'm like, okay.
Like Gladiator.
I don't think. Once you've seen Platoon, it's kind of like, you've gone the darkest you can.
If you'd seen The Godfather and gave up, you wouldn't have seen Goodfellas.
True. But Dunkirk was just spectacular. I mean, I thought it was and very different. Also, especially if they're looking for things that are different. I mean, it was certainly more of a just a.
Well, there wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a lot of dialogue, was there?
No, I mean it's
But so fraught with
it's
emotion.
just masterfully put together, and just the music or lack of music in a lot of times, but just the sound and stuff, and it was just a very visual.
If I watch this at my house, I'm going to get a lot of messages from. Please turn that down. Turn that
It was
down.
so cinematic. I mean, I watching it, I thought, I wish I'd seen this in a theater.
And then it was one of those things too at the end where you go, wow, you didn't see the Nazis the entire movie. Like the only times that they ever get shot at are off camera. Like it's just, so there's not very much. There's not really. It's more of a thriller and them trying to get off of the island than it is actually a true war movie. And then Darkest Hour, it was a fun movie.
It was
Certainly
the same story, but told from the one perspective or the one man, really, and those close around him, but all around him, and the politicizing of it, and the other side of politics, and I think also told at a time when, it's paralleling other things that are happening in a lot of scenarios, the politicizing of everything, and really, really well done on the other side. And not that it stunned me there wasn't another story to tell, but it just so beautifully they worked together to tell both sides of that story. And again, without telling a whole other side of the story. So.
And then Ready Player One is doing reasonably well.
Yeah.
That is
I think it's much better than I expected.
Did you see it?
I think we
He's
might
scared.
go this
So
weekend.
I thought maybe you're frightened.
There's a part of me that wants to pick up the book and just blast right through the whole thing again. I mean, I read it in 2 days years ago, and I keep saying, everybody I talk to, read the dang book.
The
read
commercials
book,
are saying it's
especially
a
you,
winner.
Especially you.
I looked at
Bless
buying
you,
it.
you.
I looked at buying it on Amazon, But I want to get like the cover. I don't want this movie cover. I hate when you buy the book and got the movie cover. Give me the cover that's
Now
on the book.
a
I hate that. It's like,
motion picture.
it's
by
one
Steven
of my pet
Spielberg.
peeves.
No, I understand. It is a brilliant book and a just again love story to 80s
I was
nerds.
at Half Price Books and they only had it like new. They didn't have like the actual half price paperback, like an old paperback of somebody else. So I was trading in records and got $9.
I brought a stack once and got like $30. I was like,
I took in so many things to go, we'll give you $9. And I thought to myself,
yeah, what are you gonna do with that?
I don't really want to put all that back in my car.
Drive it
So
back.
just
right?
give
yeah,
me the
$9. Thanks. Goodbye.
Speaking of goodbye, so I can't find the story, but
Turn this down.
there was some, Avengers Infinity War originally was going to be like this monstrosity. There was going to be 2 parts.
Correct.
And they called it part 1, part 2, and then suddenly they stopped calling it part 2.
Correct.
And there was questions about what is going on. And apparently, I don't know if it was Anthony or Joe Russo, one of the directors of the current one, was just kind of, I think it was on Twitter, was just kind of going back and forth with somebody and just kind of let out that if we tell you the title of the second one,
It'll ruin the first
it's going
one?
to be a spoiler for the first movie. So then the question becomes...
Avengers, Captain America is dead.
Well, that's what I'm figuring. So are we thinking... I mean, you got 75
Vengeance.
characters. Is it going to be the...
Well, is it going to be called...
The Wrath of
The
Khan?
rumor is like it's like going to be called Infinity Gauntlet, which then spoils the fact that Thanos has the gauntlet at the end of this movie.
I don't think that spoils anything.
No, well, no, not for people who have kind of like...
Okay.
It's like predictable, totally. Like, because that's where it kind of goes, right?
All right.
I was
okay.
thinking more of a death. I was thinking more of a revenge of somebody, or there's somebody
They're going to really call it
changes
Iron
the
Man's
size.
Revenge or something?
Well,
What?
Civil War Part 2.
the fall of Tony
Again,
Stark.
Me, old man here. Gauntlet came out first, and it was good in the comics, and War came out second, and it was
Not so good.
stupid.
But now this war is about... But this war in the movie is about him trying to get the gauntlet.
I understand. They totally. They're like
they've-
comic books, and
Well,
that's okay. I'm all right with that.
I think they're
I'm
trying to,
okay
I think
with
they're
that.
using the one name to tell
Yeah.
the one story.
Yeah, they're paralleling a story but doing it differently. Like Civil War in the comic, kind of dumb. Civil War in the movies, really good. Totally different premise, completely different.
Well, they have that all extra plot line too.
Right.
Yes.
And it's a different story altogether.
Although I did like Winter Soldier much more. We've mentioned that before.
Oh yeah, greater. But again, the films are taking this origin or story or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
and not retelling it. We talked about that in other shows. I'm sure you've been watching all of those, right? The
Avengers Infinity End.
Oh, this was Verge was
Trying to predict.
guessing what it could be.
Well, I think everyone is pretty well set on. There's going to be a lot of disaster in this movie, and not everyone's coming out of it.
Ooh, I like Avengers
I think Black Panther's
Disassembled.
going to die. No.
How about Avengers, the tragic and totally unexpected death of Captain America? For good, we swear. We're taking this one back besides his contract is up. I kind of like that one.
Something tells me he might be back.
Avengers, hey, remember how you guessed we were killing off a hero? Surprise, Loki's dead, suckers. Hawkeye's revenge.
Rosebud.
I like Snape kills Dumbledore. That's a...
Crisis on Infinity War.
That's great.
No one sees that one coming.
Monopoly War. So, my dinner with the Avengers.
Actually, Finite War. My dinner with the Avengers. Someone's coming to the Avengers.
So are they
Okay,
going to
so-
quickly, like, after
Well, I was gonna say-
after this movie comes out, it's going to be like this movie comes out on April 27th, and May 6th we're releasing the next title?
Something
So
like
they're
that.
going to let the cat out of the bag that early, or do you think it's going to?
They're going to wait like a month, 2 months?
I'm thinking 3 to 3 months. When
months
is the
is
second?
a long time.
Well, doesn't it come out the next May?
3-4 weeks. You
It's
need
like
to
a-
get people psyched up.
It's a year later, isn't it? Isn't it May and May?
But so everybody that's going to see it, that's going to be spoiled by this, is going to see it in the first week or two. I mean, I know obviously most will, but
Yeah, I mean, you got to psych people up to go see it again.
Here's
When it
my
starts
question:
waning.
if you didn't go out of your way to see this movie in the first 2 weeks, are you really going to be somewhere where the second title leaks somewhere and it spoils for you? Like, the people who go see the movie are the people who are actively seeking the next title.
Sure.
So, like,
Okay.
it really wouldn't be like you might not see it in the first 2 weeks, and you would definitely find it, but you're like,
I got one. What's the over-under for post-credit sequences?
3.
I think that 2.5 is a good over-under.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Have they said how long the?
Oh, it's going to be so long. That's the problem. It's the
It
length
can't
of
go 3 hours, but I'm thinking 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh, it's too long for a superhero movie.
No, this real movie thrust is like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and you got 20 bonus minutes of credits and footage. And
I can live with that. I could live with that.
I guess
if you
that's
tell
what
me
it
it's
can be. 239. Oh. That's the over-under on the length
so
of the
long.
movie.
Like Age of Ultron was just so long. It's just like
Well, it was also terrible. Terrible is too much way to put it. The worst of lately.
yeah. Well, when it's not great and long, it's like, oh geez.
Yeah, what would you say is worse, X-Men Apocalypse or
I
Ultron?
can't say because I've not seen X-Men Apocalypse.
It's time. Have you seen Deadpool?
Yes, I have seen Deadpool.
156 minutes, according to IMDb.
That's 236.
Dang, that was pretty good over-under for me. 239. That was really good.
All right, so we're
Okay, if that includes the credits, but the problem is
Yes.
it does not include the 17 trailers I'm going to sit through.
right.
Although, what movie was it? Was it Black Panther? Did many trailers lately? I went to see a movie and I was like, wait,
That's
is it starting
that's
already?
just the movie.
You know what I
that's the
mean?
movie house
Yeah,
doing
like
that.
I'm like, did it just? Because normally you can just write off. You used to be able to say, okay, this is how long it's going to be because the credits are going to be this, which will match the previews.
It
And you
used
used
to
to
be
not
5,
wait to the
10.
credits. You used to be like, credits, let's go. Now it's like, credits, let's sit here.
Do you remember the first
Let's sit.
post-credit sequence? I can remember the first post-credit sequence I watched.
I don't.
And I thought might be the first one. Boni, I bet you'd know this.
First post-credit sequence.
It's a gag at the end of The Great Muppet Caper.
Oh,
Remember that? It's great.
I did not see that.
Oh, Gonzo comes out at the end. Everyone's falling in parachutes at the end, and he comes out and says, "Wait, wait!"
is that really the first? Wow. Okay.
It might
And
be.
comes to the front, and he goes, and there's just a big flash, and then it goes to black, and real light goes, "I'll send you all a copy." And he goes, "That was great."
We're almost out of time.
How can this
They're
happen?
giving us time.
We
Cues.
didn't even talk about
We didn't
Solo.
talk about. Oh, by the way, Solo.
Solo.
Yeah, this little Han Solo movie coming out.
It's not out yet.
Did you see
the
the
trailer.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So
Heard the movie's bad. It's terrible. It's gonna be
There's
the worst.
all kinds of
Everything's
reshoots.
worst.
We're good.
Hate it. Hate everything.
So Chewbacca might be dead here at the end. And how's that gonna?
Chewbacca's not dead.
He's 190 years old. He looks great.
Well, I like how it ends with these. There's two cliffhangers, right, with involving Chewbacca that he might fall off the little train, funky
not
train
dead.
thing. And,
I'm pretty sure that he can't be, right?
but I was thinking people have been complaining about
Lando
this.
dies. Wait, no. Han Solo dies. Wait, no. We had that movie already.
Woody Harrelson. Sorry.
People have been making fun of the fact that Chewbacca's in these cliffhangers, but I would say if any director can make you take something like Ron Howard with Apollo 13, still every time I watch it, I'm not totally sure they're going to make it. I'm like cheering on. I think he can pull it off. This weekend we got Borg versus McEnroe. I thought it was Star Trek Borg, but it's Bjorn Borg versus John McEnroe. Shia LaBeouf playing John McEnroe. Rampage, of course.
Okay. I think there's your winner.
The Rock.
We have Sergeant Stubby and American Hero, which I'm trying to think.
Sergeant.
Sergeant Stubby and American Hero, which is a real life story but done in animation. I was trying to think if that's ever happened before, where they've done a real true story, and they choose animation as the style to tell that. And then there's Truth or Dare. This is not Madonna's, but this is another horror movie coming out.
Everybody under the age of 27 watching has got Madonna. I think I heard
She
of
had
her.
a movie?
I think I've heard of her. I just didn't know she had a movie.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Inside Me Weekly. What to find out next week? Rampage?
Rampage. I'd say it's
number
Rampage.
one, big. Okay. We'll have to check next week on the next edition of Inside Me Weekly. Thanks for joining us.